Have you ever imagined a poor boy from a remote village who didn't know a single word of English becoming a millionaire thanks to that very language? The story I'm about to share isn't magic, nor is it sudden luck. It's a journey of persistence, effort, and a shift in mindset. If you're feeling like English is your biggest barrier, then this story is for you to show that anything is possible if you never give up. Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, where we inspire and share real stories to help you conquer English and life. Hello, I'm Kai. I don't come from a rich country or a wealthy family. When I was 20, I didn't even know how to introduce myself in English. People laughed at me, friends and family alike. My accent was broken, my sentences were wrong, and I didn't know how to answer interviews. But inside me was a small fire. You were born for something greater. This is the story of an ordinary boy from a small town with no confidence and no English skills, who became a millionaire by mastering one skill, speaking English with confidence and power. I'm sharing this not to brag, but to show you what's possible, even when the world is against you. If you feel lost because your English isn't good, remember, this isn't just about English. It's about survival and freedom. From silence and fear to speaking on global stages, building businesses, earning dollars, and creating a life once thought impossible. Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, where your journey begins. A tough beginning and the shift in family mindset. Starting with English was never easy. I clearly remember those first days sitting in class, struggling to listen and understand every word, but my mouth stumbled over pronunciation again and again. There were times I cried silently at my desk, feeling so helpless and inadequate. English wasn't a bridge to the world back then. It was a huge barrier that made me insecure and want to hide away from the mocking looks of friends and even family. Every time I tried to speak, fear of being laughed at held me back, almost making me want to give up. But it didn't stop there. My family, especially my mother, was once my strongest opponent. She worried that chasing English would lead me astray, that I wouldn't have a future. Her forbidding words and doubtful eyes often left me feeling lonely and disappointed. Yet, I refused to surrender to that pressure. I believed that if I kept going, I could prove to my mother and to myself that English wasn't a barrier, but an opportunity. And then something miraculous began to happen. Over time, my mother's mindset started to change. What was once doubt slowly turned into support. She no longer forbade me but encouraged me and asked about my small progress. That was a huge turning point. It made me realize I wasn't alone, that someone was standing behind me to cheer me on, giving me the strength to keep pushing forward. This shift in my family gave me the power to step out of my comfort zone. From then on, I began seeking chances to use English in real life, not just learning in class, but freelancing. The first jobs were small and low paying, but for me, they were priceless opportunities to practice, improve, and most importantly, build confidence day by day. I remember those long nights staying up late working, practicing, fixing mistakes, and slowly receiving positive feedback from clients. Step by step, I started to feel that English was no longer something to fear. It had become the key to opening up my world, building my workspace, and starting to earn. I didn't have much, but I knew I needed a real place to work, a small corner, a private space to focus and chase my dreams. I saved every penny to buy a used laptop, nothing fancy or shiny, just enough to turn on and get started. Then I searched for the cheapest Wi-Fi I could find and set up a tiny corner in my cramped room. It wasn't luxurious or perfect, but it was my kingdom, the place where I was building my future. Every morning I sat there with determination. I had to turn my dream into reality, no matter how hard it was. Life was still simple. I ate frugally, saved every dime, living far below what my friends did. But something amazing started to happen. I worked for clients all over the world, people who never met me in person, only knew me through my skills and professionalism on screen. They trusted me with their projects, and most importantly, they paid me in dollars. Real dollars, not the small change I was used to. There's a moment I will never forget. The first time I logged into my PayPal account and saw $5,000 glowing on the screen, my heart almost burst with joy. That was more than money. It was clear proof that effort, persistence, and belief in myself could change my life. The boy who once felt ashamed to speak English was now rewriting his story in the most remarkable way. That overwhelming happiness and disbelief ignited a fire in me, a fire that never went out, pushing me to dream bigger, work harder, and go further than ever before. And you know what? That was just the beginning. Strategy to grow and increase self-value. At the beginning, I accepted working for very low rates, sometimes feeling like I was selling myself cheap just to get a chance. But I didn't stop there. Every client, no matter how small, I gave my absolute best, leaving the best possible impression. Positive feedback gradually built my reputation. And once I gained the client's trust, I boldly started raising the price of my services, no longer afraid of losing customers, but confident in the quality I delivered. That was a turning point. I realized that English is not just a language, but a kind of currency in the new era, a tool to increase my own value and the value of my services. As I got better and more professional, I didn't just earn more. I became the person clients sought out, willing to pay a fair price for excellence. English opened up a limitless world for me, helping me build a strong personal brand, and most importantly, helping me believe in myself more than ever. If you ever thought language was just a tool for communication, think again. It's your ticket to the big game, where you don't just survive, but shine and win. And my story is living proof of that. Are you ready to join me on this journey? Expanding the team and building a business model. As my work began to grow, I realized an important truth. I couldn't walk this long road alone. Success is not just about individual steps, but about the ability to build a team, a group of people to share the journey and create collective strength. I started reaching out and inviting collaborators skilled in proofreading, research, and translation from different countries. At first, it was just a few acquaintances, but gradually my team became a global network, a diverse group of passionate individuals united by a common goal, working together to develop bigger and more ambitious projects. Day by day, I witnessed the progress of each team member. Many started out unsure of their English skills, but thanks to patient guidance, hands-on experience, and dedicated mentoring from me, they not only improved their language, but also grew significantly in their mindset and professionalism. It wasn't just about teaching a language. I was passing on confidence and a relentless spirit of learning, core elements that helped us stand strong in a fiercely competitive global market. This collaboration and unity created a solid business model. Each person in the team was no longer just a freelancer, but became part of an ecosystem of growth, collectively generating far greater value than working alone. Together, we overcame challenges, shared successes, and looked forward to a brighter future. What made me happiest wasn't the revenue or lucrative contracts, but seeing the positive transformation in every team member. I vividly remember the pride I felt when they no longer feared English, no longer hesitated to communicate, but confidently expressed themselves and contributed to our common projects. All of this stemmed from the journey I had been through. Learning English not just to communicate, but to open doors of opportunity and turn dreams into reality. English was no longer just a language to me. It became the most valuable currency, a resource that elevated my self-worth, enhanced my service quality, and built my personal brand. It was the golden key that unlocked success, financial freedom, and control over my life. Most importantly, it helped me become a leader, not only guiding the team, but inspiring each member to realize they could rise, no matter how humble their beginnings. You see, success doesn't come from luck or overnight miracles. It is a long journey of perseverance, effort, and continuous investment. When you decide to seriously learn English, you're not just learning a language, you're laying a strong foundation for your life. Because English is not just a tool, it's the door to freedom, transformation, and a future that you can fully own. The big project and the transformation into a business. When I received my first $10,000 project, it wasn't just a regular contract. It was a major milestone, a turning point in my journey from a solo freelancer to the founder of a real business. Before that, I had been handling small contracts, working freely without specific plans, and sometimes only following my instincts. But this project made me realize everything had to be taken seriously, professionally and strategically. I began crafting detailed plans, from task allocation, time management, coordinating with collaborators, to maintaining close communication with the client. Every detail mattered, and nothing was overlooked. The greatest reward wasn't the amount on the contract, but the client's recognition. When they told me I was working at a world-class level, it felt like a dream come true. I clearly remember the thrill in my heart when I heard those words, a powerful encouragement, proof that all the effort, sleepless nights, failures, and even tears shed out of fear of speaking English had been worth it. From a boy who once hesitated to speak English, I was now standing confidently in the international business world, with my skills fully affirmed. This turning point also changed how I viewed myself. I was no longer just a small freelancer working alone in a cramped room. I had become the leader of a growing business with a big vision and continuous development goals. I realized that sustainable success required building a system, a team, a brand, not just completing isolated projects. The transition from freelancer to entrepreneur wasn't easy, but English and communication skills became the bridge that helped me make it happen. English was not just a language. It was the key to opening global doors, connecting me with international clients, building credibility and value for myself and my business. Looking back, the journey was full of challenges, but also joy and meaning. From those shaky first steps, I had grown and turned my dreams into reality, a life I once only dared to imagine. Now, standing at the peak of a growing enterprise, I never forget those hard days. They made me who I am today, someone who never stops learning, striving, and always believing that with persistence and determination, every limit can be broken. This is not just a story about business success, but a living testament to the power of English and the positive transformation it can bring to anyone's life. A meaningful moment with family. When success is more than money, it's connection and pride. After months of relentless hard work, when I landed my first $10,000 project, a huge sum for me at that time, the joy and pride that flooded my heart were indescribable. But what stays with me even more vividly than that number was the moment I sat down for a luxurious dinner with my family, celebrating a milestone marking a long, arduous journey. It wasn't just an ordinary meal. It was a small ceremony, a symbol of a profound transformation in my life and in the eyes of those I love. That night, under the warm glow of the lights, laughter filled the room, yet inside me were complex emotions: joy, gratitude, and above all, the revival of a boy once crushed by his broken English and poverty. My parents, who once worried and held me back from chasing an uncertain path, now looked at me with pride and deep, unwavering love. Their words of thanks were not empty. They were a precious acknowledgement of everything I had struggled to achieve. In their eyes, I saw something more valuable than any material success: respect, recognition, and an immeasurable pride. That dinner marked a turning point, not just in my career, but in our family relationships. I was no longer the fearful child hiding his language mistakes silently. I was a grown man standing tall, able to say, "I made it." That self-respect was rebuilt from every stumble, every sleepless night spent with a worn-out laptop, and from the unquenchable flame of perseverance burning inside me. That moment also taught me that true success is not measured by numbers in a bank account or fame, but by the ability to build and nurture genuine connections, to create pride and bonding within your family. I realized that no matter how harsh life's challenges may be, if you keep your will strong, keep learning, and persistently pursue your dreams, you can change not only yourself, but also the lives of those closest to you. And most importantly, I want to tell you, the one listening to this story, cherish the moments with your family, for that is where true strength is nurtured to help you overcome all limits. Your success won't be complete without sharing and recognition from those who stand beside you, no matter how difficult your beginnings were. That is the greatest success, the deepest meaning, and the most priceless gift life can ever give you. Starting up and growing my own company, from a small dream to a global English empire. After years of honing my skills and steadily building personal credibility, I took a bold step that changed my life forever. Founding my own company, providing writing, editing, and English support services for startups around the globe. This was no longer just the story of a lone freelancer. It was a real business with the goal of conquering the fiercely competitive international market. It was then I realized that English was not just a means of communication, but the key to unlocking enormous opportunities for those daring enough to step out of their comfort zone. My company quickly attracted attention from clients across various countries. Young, dynamic startups hungry for growth. Every project, every request was met with wholehearted dedication from me and my team to deliver genuine value, making clients not only satisfied, but eager to build long-term partnerships. The difference wasn't size. It was the quality of service elevated by deep understanding of English and multicultural nuances. What fills me with the most pride is surpassing $100,000 in annual revenue, a figure I once only dreamed of as a young boy from a poor, rural town. This income not only exceeded many traditional local professions, but also proved beyond doubt how mastering English can transform your life. From someone who couldn't even introduce himself in English, I built a successful business that impacts others and provides stable income for myself and my team. The entrepreneurial journey is never smooth. I've faced countless challenges, stress, and pressure. Yet, every hardship was a valuable lesson that made me better, stronger, and more determined on my chosen path. This is living proof that no limit is insurmountable when you have passion, perseverance, and the courage to start from zero. The detailed English learning journey and methods, making English an essential part of life. On my journey to mastering English, I realized one crucial thing. Learning English can't be confined within 4 classroom walls with boring grammar rules and exercises. I had to completely change my approach from studying English to living with English every single day. English was no longer just a subject. It became part of my life, a language I immersed myself in, breathed, and used naturally as if it were my mother tongue. The very first step was switching all my personal devices, phone, computer, to English. This small but powerful change forced me to face English words and sentences constantly. Every message, every notification pushed me to react quickly in English instead of my native language. Slowly but surely, I felt English becoming more familiar and less intimidating. I practiced speaking daily, even just simple sentences. Every time, I recorded my voice, listened back, and corrected my pronunciation and intonation. This process not only improved my speaking skills, but built the confidence necessary for real communication with foreigners. I didn't expect perfection at first. My goal was to speak naturally, gradually turning it into a solid skill. Instead of memorizing tons of vocabulary at once, I adopted a simple, effective method, learning only 5 new words per day, focusing on using them correctly and frequently in real-life sentences. I wrote simple sentences with those words, spoke them out loud, and deeply memorized their usage. More importantly, I trained myself to think directly in English, no more translating sentence by sentence from my native language. This accelerated my response time and helped me speak fluently without hesitation. Technology played a game-changing role in my learning. Google helped me look up word meanings and usage. YouTube provided countless lessons on pronunciation and practical communication. And ChatGPT became my constant conversation partner, answering questions and creating dialogue scripts anytime I wanted. I wasn't limited by time or place. Learning English became flexible and enjoyable like never before. I built a daily English habit, even just a few minutes, but I never missed a day. Consistency brought progress step by step, and persistence was the key to major change. I wasn't afraid of failure or mistakes because I knew every error was a step closer to my goal. Additionally, I actively sought opportunities to talk with foreigners, online or face-to-face whenever possible. Conversing with strangers exposed me to different accents, speaking styles, and most importantly, helped me build genuine confidence, overcoming my fear of speaking in real situations. That was the springboard for me to speak without hesitation in important moments. A vital method in my journey was writing an English diary every day. Through these lines, I recorded what I learned, my feelings and thoughts, practicing grammar and developing logical thinking in English. Writing helped me track progress, identify weaknesses, and gave me motivation every day as I saw clear improvements. All these methods combined created a comprehensive learning process that not only solidified my English, but laid a strong foundation for my career and life. English was no longer a barrier, but a powerful strength, the key that opened the wide door of opportunities and success. The final inspirational message: the power of will and perseverance in your English learning journey. When you stand at the starting line of learning English, the first thing I want you to understand is this. You don't need abundant money or ideal conditions, nor do you need to be perfect or excellent right from the beginning. The only thing you need is a strong will and unwavering perseverance. These two qualities will decide how far you go and whether you can truly conquer English. Many English learners have experienced moments of despair and frustration when they can't speak a correct sentence, forget vocabulary, or fail to understand native speakers. I know those feelings very well. I have been there, confused, lost, and wanting to give up many times. But I chose to stand up every time I fell. I started with the first sentence, then the second, then the third, continuing step by step, no matter how slow. And you can do the same. Remember, what matters is not where you start, but how long you keep going. Even if you speak wrong, even if others laugh at you, even if you feel shy or scared, that is a sign you are moving forward. Don't fear making mistakes, because every mistake is a precious lesson that helps you improve. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you are creating a better English version of yourself. I encourage you to try saying the first sentence, even the simplest one, like hello or my name is, and don't stop there. Say the second sentence, the third, and keep going every day. Make a habit of speaking English, even just a few minutes daily, and you will be amazed at your gradual progress. Success doesn't come overnight, but if you persist, it will surely come. You don't need expensive devices, costly classes, or hours of stressful study. You only need determination, curiosity, and perseverance, things you can build from within yourself. Free tools like your phone, the internet, videos, books, all these can become powerful allies on your path. My story is just one of millions built on persistence and willpower. You can become an inspiring story for others too, if you don't give up. When you persistently learn, practice, and improve, you create your own unique voice, a voice powerful enough to break down language barriers, connect with the world, open career opportunities, and change your life. Believe that if you persist, the world will listen to you. English will no longer be a barrier, but a bridge connecting you to new friends, new partners, and amazing opportunities. You will feel more confident, knowledgeable, and most importantly, you will enjoy the joy of fluent communication, having your ideas accepted and respected by others. I want to send you a powerful message. You don't have to be perfect or the best. You just need perseverance, and you will go farther than you imagine. Start today, say the first sentence, the second, and keep moving forward. I believe with will and endurance, you will write your own success story. Remember, learning English is not just about mastering a new language. It's about training yourself, overcoming limits, and building confidence in who you are. You are not alone on this journey. Find companions, learn from them, and inspire each other to grow. Every small step counts, and perseverance is the key that opens every door to success in life. You may not know what lies ahead, but be sure that if you don't stop, tomorrow will be different from today. And a new world will open for you, a world where English becomes the language of opportunity and success. Start now, and the world will hear you. Life is always a journey full of challenges and opportunities. My journey with English wasn't just about learning a new language. It was a valuable lesson in perseverance, courage, and self-belief. When you start something new, never be afraid of failure, because every stumble carries a lesson that helps you grow stronger. What matters most is not how fast you go, but whether you keep moving forward. Keep the fire inside you burning, no matter where life takes you, no matter how many obstacles and hardships you face. If you have willpower, patience, and determination, nothing can stop you from reaching success. Learning English is just a small part of the bigger picture of your life. It opens doors to new opportunities, gives you the ability to connect with the world, and can even change your destiny. But more importantly, it teaches you to believe in yourself, push beyond limits, and keep growing. If this story inspired you and gave you motivation, don't forget to like and share this video so more people can discover it and change their lives too. Please subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English and turn on notifications so you never miss inspiring stories and valuable lessons on English learning and personal growth. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, you are not alone, and the world is waiting to hear your voice.